Hello everybody, my name is Charlie. Welcome back to Chef, Restaurant Tycoon game. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. We're here in our charming little restaurant. It's the start of the day. We only have a couple of customers here for now. Hopefully we get a whole bunch more. And we've got 2 chefs now. Hopefully that means I can recover a little bit of my morale. And overall, though, we're doing pretty good for a good start here. We did lose a lot of money yesterday, but it's the start of the game. You're going to lose money on the first day just because you're buying all your equipment. So we've got this nice, charming little restaurant here, and it's going to grow. Probably grow quite quickly. We're going to have to make sure we don't try to grow it too quickly, though. And I've taken a look at some of the comments you guys had. Thank you so much for your enthusiasm and for commenting on the last video. Appreciate that. Looks to me like we got a few pretty decent name ideas, but one of them stands out to me. One of them kind of stood out to me, and I can't believe it's not charred. Yeah, so this kind of goes along with the recommendations that Twitch chat had when I was playing around with this on Twitch. And so I'm gonna just a little bit of a deviation from that because I don't think I can fit that many characters in the name of this restaurant, but I'm gonna go with charred. Okay, there you go. So we're gonna have charred as the restaurant. It's real simple. It's a nice, easy name. You wanna go out? Yeah, what's for dinner? I don't know, you want some char? Yeah, let's go get some charred. All right, awesome. So that's what we're gonna do here. Now, hopefully we don't actually char anything. Hopefully we don't actually burn anything. But it looks like these guys are sitting idle, and I think we probably have not quite enough ingredient points to really do anything meaningful yet. I was thinking about maybe opening up and getting a new ingredient by some chance. Maybe some mozzarella cheese, because mozzarella is kind of interesting. It's a little Italian cheese. We actually have egg and goat cheese is there. I've never had goat cheese, I don't think. But blue cheese is fantastic, okay? I don't care if the description doesn't do it any justice, but I think blue cheese is delicious. I think I am going to use this one little point here and maybe grab some spices. Now, I'm not sure which one would work the best on things, but maybe a little bit of let's go. Like, I'm already pretty good on bitterness. I usually have a pretty good value for bitterness on some of the things I do, but I think maybe we'll go with the chili pepper. Not a whole lot of sweetness there, but chili peppers could be interesting. Yeah, I think we'll open that up. Or we could also introduce some fruits like cherries, or maybe even a little bit of raisins or raspberries, like in salads and stuff. That could be kind of interesting. We get a lot of sweetness from the raspberry. You know what? Let's go ahead and grab a raspberry, because we might be able to use that for salads or something like that later on. I'm going to try that out. Our staff doesn't have any points to spend, so we're going to wait on that. And we don't really have any furnishings to do, so why don't we just go ahead and speed up time just a little bit, and we'll see how our restaurant does today. Now, I think our prices are okay. I don't think anyone's going to necessarily complain too much about those. Service should be a lot better today than yesterday, just because there are now 3 waiters on staff, and of course we're getting them experience so we can level them up later on. The goal of today is to hopefully operate just barely out of the black. So we're probably going to lose just a tad bit of money, but the hope is that we operate just like to the point where we don't lose a whole lot. I want to see at the end of the day this number stay as close to 2,200 as I possibly can, because that will be a good indication that we're operating, we're not wasteful in our operations here. But we also want to look at making our own food as fast as possible if we can. And that, I'm going to slow it down really quick. Take a look at the menu. You can see our relative quality on a lot of things are starting to drop. We've got our roasted onions and cheese sauce is only at 2, and not even a half really. It's like 2.4 on the relative quality there, right? Same thing with the butter pasta. It's not really doing all that great. And we still have a couple of things that are okay. And hopefully our prices are cheap enough to where people are going to be comfortable coming back for the value that we give them. But actually, did I just get... I think I just got a couple more ingredient points. Interesting. 2 more ingredient points. Why don't I put those 2 points into... peppers? I think maybe some peppers. You know what? Let's put 1 point in peppers And we can get another one in maybe these cherry tomatoes. Yeah, because these cherry tomatoes would be kind of cool to use in salads and stuff too, potentially. But remember, we really want to hit carbs really well. The cheapskates really like carbs. We are going to hit them with pasta, but I'm also thinking corn is a good one to get, and just better bread offerings and stuff too. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and let it run just a few more hours in game, and then we'll look at the menu and figure out whether or not we can make a killer dish that will just, everybody will love it, and everyone will come in and be like, wow, that was awesome. Actually, before we do that, pause. So what we just got, and I'll run 1 speed is fine. What we just got up at the top, it says influence points. We managed to get 1 influence point. This kind of happens as your restaurant becomes more popular, okay? Influence points can be spent to extend your influence in nearby districts, increasing your pool of potential customers. So we're gonna go to the city map, and we have 1 influence point. Here's Charred. Okay, Charred's in this district. But right now, we're really only bringing in people that are local. If we want to bring in more people, expand our reach and our message, we can spend influence points in neighboring districts. So I can look at this one, for example, and I can say, well, there's 7,600 cheapskates here. That's a lot. Lower class families, 3,900. Okay. There's not a whole lot for the upper class, or like a whole lot of like gourmet, legendary people willing to spend a lot of money when they go to a restaurant, etc. We really want a lot of these guys, right? But right now, we're just this good old-fashioned home cooking kind of thing. Now we have, if I go back to this district, we have 100% influence here because this is our starting district, but we have no presence at all here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start bringing in people. If we cater to our local group here, chances are we're going to be catering to a lot of people out in this group here as well. We also have the suburbs district, but this one is going to cost us a little bit more to get into. And it's mostly because it's further away. Kitty corner doesn't matter. It's kind of like side to side sort of thing. So this counts as 2 away from us, even though this one over here technically still counts as 1. That means this one over here would count as 2 as well. It's industrial district where there's a lot of blue collar workers, right? So we can expand around here later. But I think for now, because there's a lot of cheapskates, a lot of the same types of people that we're already making happy, I'm gonna go ahead and get the countryside area. I'm going to spend an influence point there. And that is going to give us 20% influence here. And we're going to get some of these customers are going to start hearing about us. And some of these customers might be willing to travel a little bit to come and check us out when it's their next time to go and eat and stuff. So that's kind of nice. My character has 1 point. I am going to save to get to 3. I'm going to get to 3 fitness, so I don't have to worry about that because chefs are pretty expensive and I don't want to pay for more staff than I need to, right? So let's go ahead and we'll have time. You know what? Let's go 4 times speed, just a little bit, right? This gets pretty fast. And if you have anything that you need to address, you kind of want to keep an eye on it when you're going this fast. But for the most part, everything seems okay here. And we're not that busy today, honestly. This is kind of like, this doesn't seem very busy. So we really want to get ourselves more notorious. We want to get more influence out into other districts so that we can bring more people into our restaurant, because right now we're not really that full and I want to fill this place up, right? I'm starting to think that we really don't even need to have 2 chefs working. So I'm going to put myself on snooze and just let myself, oh, that doesn't actually work. Interesting. Okay, I don't fully understand the mechanics behind rest so far. It looks to me like this can fill up only so far, and it doesn't go back to green. But perhaps if it stays this long enough, maybe that's how it goes. If the morale is considered orange, I guess. So this says 6 hours cooldown. I wonder if that's the same thing, or maybe we just need to wait even long. I mean, we're just gonna need to wait even longer to get this to green, right? Perhaps. Let's take a look at some recent reviews. We're getting 5-star reviews, which is kind of good. People are actually not that impressed with our food, but the prices, atmosphere, and service is great. The place has some really low prices. Courses have low prices. Courses have low prices. So people, they don't think they don't think our stuff is priced appropriately, right? And we can look at that and kind of adjust it if we feel like it's necessary. Because right now, everyone thinks they're getting a great value, and that is kind of what we're looking for. But if everyone is saying it, then there's a chance that we're charging too little for what we're offering. So I'm gonna go ahead and raise the price on all of our main courses by $1. Now that's probably gonna kick them in, like the butter pasta probably not, but if maybe not $1. Maybe not $1, maybe 50 cents instead. Why don't we go like $8.50 on this, and we'll go to $3 here, and we'll go to like $13.50 here, and maybe we'll go to $4.50 here. Maybe $3.25 on that, and let's do I don't know, $6.25. So we'll raise the main courses a little bit. For the turkey salad, it's still 3 out of 5 on quality. We'll go like 4.7, and maybe we'll do like 4.7 on that as well. We just want to get as much value as we can out of people without making them think that it's a terrible value. So we're just going to raise the prices just a little bit since everybody seems to agree that we're too cheap. And then we'll see what the recent reviews are after that point, because the service is pretty good, the food is pretty good, but we're only going to get a couple of stars on the food ratings because we're not making our own recipes just yet. And I think I'm about ready to do that. So why don't we look at the recipes? Some of these are actually pretty funny. Hey, I'm reviewing the restaurant you work in. Guess who I am? I like it. This is a good example of how a restaurant should be managed. While their menu is comprised of awful recipes, everything else was fine. Okay, so we need to get better recipes. Let's take a look at recipe creation. All right, so this is the recipe editor. Now we're going to start with templates. These templates are based on our own skills and availabilities, right? So if I want to replace some of the pasta dishes that I have, let's take a look really quick at what our current menu looks like. So I want to replace some of the ones that are not doing that great. Things like fettuccine alfredo. This is a pasta dish. We have lots of different pasta dishes. We have steak and potatoes. It's our only meat dish. Maybe we want to appeal to that. But the carbs are the biggest thing because the carbs are the things that the cheapskates are into. And the cheapskates overwhelmingly are the ones that are reviewing me as well. So take a look at these reviews. You're going to see that almost pretty much everybody is a cheapskate. As we come down the list, pretty much everyone that's coming to our restaurant is a cheapskate. So we want to make them happy right now. So let's go to the menu editor. We're going to make a new recipe, and we're going to say, and we want pasta. We're going to start with a pasta dish because it's carbs, okay? We can choose certain details. These are different, there's 3 different areas of details, and then you can think of these as arrows. They look like little check boxes almost, but they're kind of like arrows. And you can choose sort of what the picture for this looks like. And I'm not really too concerned over what the picture looks like, so I guess we'll go with maybe like this, okay? Okay, I'm a little bit boring. I don't really have like an idea exactly of what I want, but I think just a common, like for our first dish, I think I'm gonna call this one creamy. Let's go with fettuccine. Crap, how do you spell this? Like that, I think. Fettuccine chicken, okay? And we'll spell it without... I have a viewer named Chicken Attack, and he doesn't spell it with the C. It gets me every time. Every time I spell chicken now, I omit the C. It's terrible. Okay, so we have pasta. We're gonna say creamy fettuccine chicken. I think that's a great name for a dish, okay? So what we want to do is we're going to accept this and open up the ingredients panel. Now how this works, we have creamy fettuccine chicken as the name of this, and then we start adding ingredients. Over on the left side, we're going to see taste attributes, flavor attributes, any type of contributions to our skill that's added to it, and then we're going to have the calorie count. We're going to have how long it takes to prepare it. We're going to have the price of ingredients. This is our cost, right? Then we have this recipe requires a counter to be cooked and a cooker. So it's going to tell you what kind of equipment it's going to take in order to actually make this. At the very top, we're going to get our overall relative recipe rating. Again, this is a relative rating because as our restaurant becomes better, this is going to likely change. So we don't need to get any better than the 5 hats, okay? There's no point. I don't really believe there's a point in getting 5 hats and then making it even better than that. We want to cut our expenses as much as possible. So do as little as we can to get a really great rating. We also want to make sure that we're going to cater to our target, and that means we're going to want to incorporate some starches, aka carbs, and we're going to go ahead and put in the fresh pasta. So the fresh pasta is also just a little bit more pricey, but it's gonna work. Actually, wait, is it more pricey? Hold on, is it more pricey? Yeah, it's $10 per kilogram as opposed to regular pasta, which is $2.55 per kilogram. So the cheapskates don't really want to spend a whole lot. So I'm gonna actually just do regular pasta here for a second. We'll see how that goes. Right now, pasta's required, and technically we can save this, but because it's just pasta with nothing else, it's getting a 0. It's not really very good right now. But one thing we can do with this, it's really nice, especially as someone like me who isn't really all that great at cooking, because in real life, I'm not really a cook. What you can do is you can click the ingredient, and it will tell you certain things that may go well with the given thing that you have. So for example, broccoli tends to do well in pasta dishes, okay? Peppers tend to do well in pasta dishes. Bacon, I guess, tends to do okay in pasta dishes, but the one thing that does really well, as we can see, I can't get it to happen here. It's not, okay. I'm trying to get it to highlight again, but it's not doing it. So I think what it is just the circle. So you see how the chicken has a blue circle around it? The chicken has this blue circle because chicken tends to go really well with pasta. And that's what I was gonna use. So we're gonna use the chicken here, okay? So we have our pasta dish, and we have our chicken, and these are just 1-star ingredients. But we can make them better by clicking the star and getting a 2-star pasta, or clicking this and getting to a 3-star chicken deal, right? Really high quality chicken, right? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and use just the 2-star chicken, because again, I don't think we really need to go all out for the cheapskates just yet. But I'm gonna give them an okay portion size here. Actually, don't wanna do too much though. Let's just go like 115. And then for the chicken, we can go maybe like 100 right here. That's probably good. Okay. Working with this stuff, bacon tends to do okay with chicken, which is kind of nice, but we're going to add some broccoli to this and some carrots to this. And I think I also wanted to add, it says celery's good, but I don't really need that right now. Let's add a little bit of cheese. Parmesan cheese is going to give us some flavor. Notice our taste metrics. We don't have a whole lot of flavor going on right now and our taste going on right now, but we add a little bit of Parmesan cheese, those values are going to go up a little bit, but we don't want to add too much. 30 grams, too much. So let's maybe pull this back just a tad. And you can see how as I pull it up, you can see how our price, the number of calories, our taste metrics, all that stuff is going up and down. And you can see how our rating kind of goes up and down for the dish too. Put too much cheese in it and it becomes really cheesy heavy and ends up being a really heavyweight dish, which we don't really want because it also costs us more. So I think I'm gonna do probably the bare minimum to get that 64 rating. It's gonna have this little increased quality thing. That is the 30 grams that we had before. I think maybe if we add just a little bit of butter to the pasta would also help a lot. So if not this much butter, that's way too much butter. So notice our fat rating is going way up with butter. We don't want that. We're gonna bring this down just a little bit. I think we're gonna bring it down to like maybe here. Okay, now we don't have a whole lot for saltiness, not a whole lot for sourness or anything like that. Maybe we add a little bit of tomato to the dish. That'll help us with a little bit more sourness, really bring out the flavor. And we don't need a whole lot. I'm thinking maybe just a little bit of tomato. We don't need a whole lot there. We lost our meat tag, which is kind of okay, I guess. We could maybe pull back the chicken just enough to where we can still keep the heavyweight. I don't know if we want the heavyweight though. I'm not sure I want the heavyweight tag. We'll see. Maybe we don't need that. Maybe we could just pull this back again. Because again, remember, we don't want to give a ton of ingredients and have a ton of cost since we already have the 5 hats, right? So let's just kind of bring this all the way back. We don't need to give them as much of this stuff. Carrots can be pulled back too. And as we even pull back the ingredients, right, we're balancing things out a bit more too. We're not having elements that are overpowering the dish in that sense. And because of that, we're actually able to get a better rating as we pull back ingredients sometimes too. So this is 102 grams of pasta. We've got only 34 on chicken, 20, 23, 16, etc. All these things. And we have the 5 hats. And we're actually not that balanced. We're a little bit sweet, not a whole lot, a little saltiness. Might be able to balance that out by just adding a pinch of salt. So let's just grab some salt. And we're not gonna add that much salt, just a little bit of salt. But see, if we add just a little bit of salt, we balance out the flavor, we balance out the taste, and we end up with a 101 rating. Okay, now if we want the meat tag, take a look at the bottom. If we want a meat tag, we're gonna have to add at least 25% of the dish needs to be meat-based, which means I need to add more chicken if I want the meat tag. So if I go like this, we eventually get the meat tag, right? Which is okay. It's not gonna be vegan, it's not gonna be vegetarian because it has chicken in it. It just flat out has chicken in it. But if I want the meat tag in it, I can go ahead and do that. So why don't I just add just a little bit more chicken, just enough to get that. And that way, people who like meat might be attracted to this dish, may want to try it. We have a 101 rating on our creamy fettuccine chicken. I think this is a good starter dish. I think this is gonna work really well. I think it might even sell really well. We don't get the dairy tag because we don't have enough dairy. It's just a little bit of butter and a little bit of Parmesan cheese. We might even be able to, if we add any more cheese, we lose the meat tag. Right, because we're adding more dairy, that means less than 25% for meat. So right now we have 25% for meat. I'm gonna leave it exactly like this. This is gonna be our meal. Recipes saved. Creamy fettuccine chicken. Good. We got pasta with little chunks of chicken. We got some broccolis, carrots, over Parmesan cheese, a little diced tomatoes in there, right? Just a pinch of salt and a little bit of butter on the noodles. I think that's gonna work real well, and that's gonna be a great dish. So we're gonna go to our main courses, and we're gonna see creamy fettuccine chicken. It has a little bit of star next to it. We're gonna notice that it's $2.08 for our cost. Okay, we have to keep that in mind because it's also gonna take 17 minutes to prepare. That is a really long prep time. If we want to edit this now before we even add it, I mean, granted, we can just add it to the menu like this. But if we ever wanna edit the recipe, we can click this little cog right here. And we go right into the editor for that specific recipe, and any changes we make will instantly take effect in the recipe itself, okay? Now, what happens if I pull just the cheaper chicken, okay? That's not very expensive. Okay, so we end up with like 4.5. I want this to stand the test of time a little bit here. So we'll give it this chicken. Actually, you know what? Chicken is fairly expensive compared to broccoli, right? 0.5 per unit as opposed to 0.1 per unit. If I add just a little bit better broccoli, it doesn't really do anything for the dish. What about the tomatoes? This is also 0.1. Okay, that bumps it up to 5-star. I think I kind of like that. A little bit better quality tomatoes. And they're a little cheaper than just buying chicken. So we're gonna try that instead. And veggie power, good. But we lost our dairy power, interesting. Increase the quantity of this, you need 1 or more dairy. Skill related to this template at 2. Well, we can always increase our skill and that will bump the quality of the dish up as well later on. But I think this is good for now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and save it. We lowered our cost, which is kind of nice. It's still 17 minutes of prep time. I'm wondering if that's because of the chicken. Let me take the chicken out of it. Okay, it's a lot less prep time now, but you're also noticing this though too. We've gained the vegetarian tag by taking the chicken out of it. Now this is interesting to me. We should add better quality broccoli to this one, and by doing this, we have a vegetarian dish now. It's lighter, right? 558 calories, a little lighter, and it's still 5 stars, 97 relative rating, and we get the vegetarians involved in this. So I think what I wanna do here is I'm gonna go back to having chicken in it, but then we can make a duplicate of this, right? We can make a duplicate of this. Let's bring this to, hold on. I need my meat tag. There we go. And it's not 101 anymore. Oh, you know why? I'll tell you why, it's because I did this. There we go, now it's 106, cool. So what we can do is get the 106, that's fine. 17 minutes prep time is a long time, but we can also just leave it the way it was in the design. I think I'll just leave it the way it was in the design. Yeah, okay, so fine. So we won't save our changes, right? We're just gonna go back out of the editor and then go back to the menu. So what we can do with this, right, is we can take it out of the menu for now. And there's this button here that says duplicate recipe. So we're gonna make an exact copy of that recipe here. And when I do that, all of these go way up, and I don't know why. I think that's just a graphical thing. If I go out and I go back in, it goes away. So it's like, it's not that every single dish is all of a sudden great because I copied a recipe. But what I'm gonna do is take the creamy fettuccine chicken, I'm gonna put it on the menu, and then I'm gonna find, I think probably the fettuccine Alfredo can go, and I think probably the butter pasta can go. It has very similar, it's a little heavy, but it's gonna have a vegetarian, right? We're gonna have a vegetarian version of our own. So I'm gonna remove the butter pasta, and in the copy that we have here, we're gonna make a change to this. We're gonna go and change this to creamy fettuccine delight. I guess we'll just call it delight. I don't know. And we'll change the picture to be like, I don't know, the yellow one instead. Why not? All right, so the creamy fettuccine delight is not gonna have chicken. Instead, it has higher quality broccoli. And then what we might do is add, I feel like we have to add something else to it. Maybe I don't think the fruit is good. Maybe maybe it doesn't need anything. I mean, it's okay, right? Oh, better quality tomatoes. There we go. It's 97, it's fine. So it's basically the exact same thing, except it doesn't have chicken and it just has a little better tomatoes. And it's basically the same meal, right? And it also costs us less, and we offer now a vegetarian option. So we're gonna go ahead and overwrite that. Go back to the menu, and we have creamy fettuccine delight. We'll add that to the menu. So creamy fettuccine chicken and creamy fettuccine delight, very similar dishes, except one of them is a vegetarian option and one of them has meat, but they're both carbs. Very nice. Our costs are very different between these two because chicken is expensive. So for this one, it's $208. I'm gonna bump this up and say we sell it for $708. We'll just see how that goes. They might complain that that's a little expensive, but we'll see how it goes. For the really good flavor and really high quality, hopefully they're willing to pay it. We have creamy fettuccine delight. This one is $124 as our cost. I'm gonna bump it up to $5. Let's go $624. That's probably gonna get a complaint, honestly. Let's go $6. We can round these down and just do 7 and 6, okay? Nice, even round number prices, I think, are probably fine. I've never liked, like in America, we have these really random numbers like 229. It's just for like tax reasons and stuff, and just like the perceived notion that 229 is less than 230, and just having that 3 there makes it seem more expensive, even though it's only a penny. So whatever. I'm gonna go this, and I'm gonna go like this. Nice. Try to keep even rounded numbered prices, I think, here. Probably good. Okay. So all that considered, we have 2 new dishes on our main course. Very cool, and they're very high quality compared. The tomato pasta probably doesn't need to be on the menu anymore, but you'll notice that this one is vegan. Now, I don't really care so much about catering to vegans right now. The cheapskates don't care about that, but having a vegan option, if people want it, we should probably offer it. So tomato pasta, we can't edit this, so let's make a vegan option pasta. Okay, so we're gonna take this off the menu. We're gonna come back over to our recipe editor. We're gonna have a new recipe. Same thing, we're gonna go pasta. This time we wanna go vegan, so I'm just gonna have this be like really green, okay? And we're gonna call this one creamy vegan pasta. I don't know, we'll call it the creamy vegan pasta. I have no idea. I'm just gonna call it that for now. And if you have names, if you have name ideas for our dishes, let me know in the comments, because I might rename these dishes after what you guys think are cool. And we can go with those. Like, I'm really interested in sort of the dynamic of working with you guys to create our menu, because we're gonna be changing these things a lot. So if you have names for dishes and maybe ideas for dishes, maybe things that you eat at restaurants near you that are really awesome, feel free to share those in the comments. I'd love to read those. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. And this time for the vegan one, I think we're still gonna go with the regular pasta, because the fresh pasta is a little bit expensive. It's very expensive. We're gonna ramp this up, let's say 130 grams. So we'll give them a little more portion. Notice we're already vegan here. So to maintain our vegan tag, we can't use anything that relates to animals, which means if I add any cheese at all, I lose the vegan tag because it's using cheese. Egg, another one, we lose it because it relates to animals. So we can't have anything that is produced by an animal, which means no dairy, unfortunately. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some broccoli to this. We can add some carrots to this as well, some celery, some cherry tomatoes, which is gonna add a lot of sweetness to this. We're gonna want to go ahead and offset that sweetness with some salt. And I think I think margarine is okay, right? Is margarine okay, but not butter? I forget. Yeah, margarine's fine, but not butter. So we're gonna bring down the margarine a little bit. We don't want it to be super fatty. We can bring up the broccoli, bring up the carrots a little bit. Of course, we're actually paying more for it too when we do this. We don't want to do that. So let's just pull this back. Now, how are we gonna get our ratings up? We have a pretty balanced palette here, but how are we gonna get our ratings up with this? Well, I'm pretty sure everybody loves fruit. Not in our pasta, sorry. This is not a salad. I'm doing all so many vegetables. I'm starting to think we're doing a salad here. I think we should do some potatoes. Just like little tiny bits. We don't need a whole lot. In a pasta dish though? Yeah, maybe not. Where's our tomatoes? Everybody loves tomatoes. I don't, but a lot of people do. All right, we'll go like this. It's still not very highly rated. Onions apparently bring that rating way up. That's kind of interesting. We're gonna go really light on those though. And oh yeah, and the quality of everything being up, that's the reason why, because we're not bringing the quality of ingredients up. Okay, so this is a really great vegan dish, and I'm actually gonna get rid of the onions. Or I'm not. Wow, I might not, because the onions look like they work. Okay, never mind. We're gonna bring these down. I wanna go real minimal with these ingredients if I can get away with it, because it's expensive, and we're lowering our costs by bringing the amount of ingredients we're using down. All right, so bring this all the way down. Bring the cherry tomatoes way down too. Salt, bring that down too. Margarine, bring it down. And pasta, we can go about like that. Okay, good. So this is like a real minimal dish, right? There's not a whole lot for this stuff, but they really love it. And it's a vegan dish that costs us $1.14 to make. Fantastic. This is our new creamy vegan pasta. Okay. Save this ingredient, go back to the menu, and add this to the menu. So we have a vegan option now. I'm sure they'll love it because there's a lot of tags here. Vegetables, vegetarian, and vegan. All of them can be excited about this. And it's $1.14 is our costs. I'm gonna make it $4. We'll see how people think about that. Okay, I think that's kind of everything for this for now. We could look at making appetizers and stuff later too, but I kind of want the restaurant to sort of just play for a little bit, see if we can make any money because, well, these things are more expensive, so hopefully they really like them. They'll talk about them and they'll be like, "Wow, the food was great when I had it." So let's see what they say. We're gonna go a little bit faster on the clock here, and we'll wait some reviews from our new food. I hope you guys are enjoying. This is the game that has a little bit of a sit and wait element to it, right? There's a little bit of that, but as you play further and further, and you start unlocking new dishes, and there's going to be some random events that will happen, and you can spread out, maybe open up a different restaurant, redesign a whole new thing. There's all of that elements too. One of the things I wish the game did is I wish it would allow me to buy a custom plot with nothing on it, and then actually design my own floor plan for it, and actually, charge me for the walls and windows and all those things. I wish it would also give me more creative control over sort of like the outside, and have people wait around on the outside after they're done eating or something. Like have the exterior have just as much sort of, or at least maybe not just as much, but have the atmosphere outside have something to do with the overall ambiance of the restaurant of Charred, right? We have another influence point. We're gonna head out to the city map, and I think what we'll probably do is we can look at getting maybe just level 2 on this. So we'll keep going into the countryside on this side here too. And then let's take a look at some points. Cora is a chef, and we can have her, I think I am gonna wait and hoard points until I get everything in fitness. I really want people to have as much energy as possible. And I just need 2 more points on myself, and I can do that. And does anyone not have any points in fitness? Okay, everyone looks good there. Okay, good. And then ingredient points, we have those too. So let's grab this. We have 4 ingredient points. I think it's time we max out our pasta dish right here. Perfect. And then maybe we can add a little bit of... I actually kind of feel like spinach might be okay if I'm gonna make some sandwiches and stuff later. Or we can go with mushrooms, porcini mushrooms, the king of mushrooms. Don't we have like regular mushrooms right now? Yeah. Yeah. So I think maybe it's better to have fewer ingredients that are really high quality than it is to have, I think, a wide variety of ingredients. Like when you use something, have it be a really good thing. Maybe we put... I personally like oranges, but I don't know what I would make right now that uses oranges. Blueberries, kind of the same thing. Maybe desserts? We could have really good chocolate. How about coffee? We could offer coffee to people. Has 50 sourness. I don't personally like coffee, so maybe that's not a good idea. Sake. Yeah, but unfortunately the cheapskates really don't care about sake. I think we'll just go like, how can you get really good water? Like premium water, like really good water, okay? We're gonna spend our points on water, absolutely. Oh, you know what? There's ketchup, margarine, maybe... We're probably going to use margarine in quite a lot of stuff. You know what? Let's just save the point. I think let's just save the point because we get higher quality of the things we're already doing. Okay, let's take a look at some of the reviews. Have they gotten any better regarding food? They have. Good at this. All right, truth be told, I'm quite satisfied. Their creamy fettuccine chicken is the best in town, and their interior designer did a great job. All right. Good. He likes it. He didn't rate the price all that good, but that's kind of okay because like we don't need him to think it's really cheap per se. We just want to make as much money as we can, and this is a really good dish and he had a really good time. Looks like we haven't had anybody else have one of our custom recipes yet. Everybody else is seeming to think this is good. Changed my life. This place is so good, it changed my life. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm screaming, but I don't know why my keyboard is doing this. Can somebody help? But yeah, creamy fettuccine chicken. It's the best in town, guys. You should come out and check out creamy fettuccine chicken. It's really good. Excellent. All right, we can take a look at the stats menu whenever we want to as well. It shows our balance information, and we'll see this at the end of the day. Hopefully, I'm hoping we only lose like maybe like a couple $100 at most. That's the goal. Now, customer category, we're coming up here. You can see that the cheapskates, there's a whole big breakdown on every single demographic of customer and their likes and dislikes, right? So we're catering to the cheapskates right now, and they just like carbs, okay? But they don't really care for dessert. It's fine. Now, we really want to get rid of these guys as soon as we can, but that's kind of like what we're, like our huge customer base is that right now. What I'd like to transition into, though, are some of the like low budget families, and they like meat and carbs. So we have like the chicken, and so we're working with both of those. They don't really care for the vegetarian stuff though. So we can also maybe look at maybe getting a dish that has very high in meat and carbs, but not a whole lot of vegetables. We have high budget families, which are really into seafood, and we're gonna do some really good stuff with seafood later too. And then we have to look at tourists as well. And tourists like to look like all sorts of things. I don't necessarily like food enthusiasts and gourmets. These guys are going to spend a ton of money, and as long as it's really high quality, they'll eat anything. So we want to cater to some of these, but we're never going to make everybody happy. We just don't have enough skill points or ingredient points and stuff to invest in that kind of thing. We're not going to make everybody happy. But we can see currently what our current customer base is, and pretty much all we're getting are cheapskates. We've had a couple of low-class tourists. We've had a couple of vegans come in, right, as well. Today, we even had some vegetarians, but most people who are coming in are cheapskates. And what we want to do is we're going to nail this, and then we're going to start working on other people too, right? We have other orders: roasted onions and cheese sauce, creamy vegan pasta. He loved the creamy vegan pasta. Very cool. All right, cool. Recipes, we have all those, and then there's the tutorial, which will walk people through everything. And the tutorial was really good, actually. If you do the tutorial with this game, it's actually really good. So I'm really pleased with how they did that. I think I showed the calendar already. Weekend, we're gonna have more customers, right? I think I showed that already. But I would like to improve my presence with the other demographics of customers, right? So we're gonna have to start making dishes that cater to other customers as well. Okay, weekly balance. Well, we lost $533. We're not quite as economical as I would like to be, but we're closing in on being profitable, and we just need to get our exposure up. and we just need to get more people per hour is really what we need to do. We need to fill up the tables we have and have it force us to go to other tables. You can also see that we have recovered some of our energy. Very cool. And the rest of these guys are super good on morale. And that's great too. But until we're profitable, I can't do things. I don't want to do things like doing flyers. So we can put out advertising budgets to attract certain types of customers to come to our store, right? We can do some more outreach, and that's kind of nice. We'll gain more influence points every day, but it's at a cost of $500 a day. So until we're profitable, I don't want to do these kinds of things yet. Customers removal. So we have certain different kinds of conditions that you can put in place. For example, a relaxing experience. We're going to enforce a relaxing experience. So anyone who is just like busy, go, probably won't come by as often. It will be less attractive to, say, workers, for example, blue collar and white collar together. It won't be as attractive to them. Eat until you explode, which doesn't really work for the food enthusiasts and the gourmets, which is kind of a little bit ironic, I think. And then the coolest place in town. Families are not necessarily into the hip stuff, but whatever. It's there. Like, it's really busy and it's the place to be, and that's kind of like the families who just want to have a fun night out with themselves probably won't be as into that. Protein paradise, obviously, unless we're going to be serving a whole bunch of tofu, we're not really going to appeal to the vegetarians and vegans if we're protein paradise. And then we have locals only, which will kind of cut down the attractiveness for our tourist population. We're not going to want to necessarily do that unless we're getting a lot of tourists and we don't want tourists, because we're not really catering to them. Then we can put something like this in place so that more of our customers that come in are not tourists, and they're more of the people who will be satisfied and pay higher values for our food. I would like to get ourselves up to this, but it's a lot more cost. So anyway, let's go ahead and let this thing run just a little bit longer. I want to see our money go up. Okay, hang on a second. So we've got ourselves this little event, this little thing that pops up, okay? This little exclamation point. It says minor event. There's a minor event requiring your attention, represented by a red icon over the head of a customer or a staff member. Click here to find it and click on its icon to activate it. So we see this little thing, like this guy's got something to say. She's got something to say to us. It could be either good or bad. We don't know what it is. I can check her, and she's a cheapskate, and the cheapskate is eating the creamy vegan pasta. So there's a good chance that she's happy with her food. Let's take a look and see what she has to say. This place is terrible. Our tablecloth is full of stains. Okay, well, that's not great. Our cleaning standards may need to increase. We can offer her a discount, which will drop our money, or we can ignore it, and this group of customers will go away. And I kind of don't want. It's just the one. It's just her one person, but she is ordering one of our higher margin items. We're not gonna make $50 on her, though, so like technically offering her a discount is going to harm us unless she's going to come back later and keep spending money and keep talking about us and keep leaving a good review. I don't really know what the right call here is. I don't understand why offering her a discount on a dish that costs like $8 is going to make us lose $50. That part doesn't make sense to me, and I wish they would change that in the code of the game, or like I wish they would change the game for that, because it's not so much that like I think the game needs to adhere to like what I want as far as a game player goes. It's just flat math. It's objective math. There's no reason why offering her a discount on a $12 meal should reduce my money by $50. That just shouldn't happen, but it does. And for that reason, I'm going to hit ignore on this. She's going to get up and walk away, and she's not going to be mad. She's going to be mad. She's not, oh, God, I'm not paying for this food, whatever. And that's just fine. You just get out of here. Whatever. Dirty tablecloth, my ass. So we're just going to go ahead and continue. Go. And like the dirty tablecloth. Like, okay. It's not really a tablecloth, is it? It's more like a place setting. Speaking of which, look at this. We're full. Well, we were kind of full. Our group tables are full. Are these guys waiting to come in? Waiting in line. Oh, hey, look at this. Oh, we don't have the wait staff. How long have they been waiting? Oh, hang on, stop, pause. We have a lot of people at the door waiting outside to come in, and that is a little bit of an issue. Now, if they're a big group, like group of 4, and we don't have any available tables for 4, they're gonna wait until the table opens up. That's just pretty standard in the restaurant industry. But I have lots of room, and I didn't think I'd need to do this yet, but I'm gonna add another table. So let's add more tables. I'm gonna go and add one, I think right here. I think I want to do a little bit of a space here, right? Maybe. Yeah, maybe like, we don't want to get too close to this window here. So I kind of like the idea of maybe not crowding that. How about we go like, I'm gonna add a little bit of the space here. So like there's more walk room. And let's put the waiter on this side actually. That'll increase the walk room too. Kind of like this. And then we'll go in about like this. So we're adding 2 extra place settings for, oh, they're the wrong color table. All right, no problem. We can just change it. So I thought we could. I can't, I guess I can't change it right away. It'd be nice if I could, but I guess I already bought it technically, so. All right, we'll just kind of go like this. So we're adding 2 new place settings, and that should hopefully allow more people to come in and be seated. All right, so there we go. Get yourself seated, guys. I really want to make profit. I wanted to make profit on day 3. That's what I was kind of hoping for, is profitability on day 3. I'm also waiting for my experience points to hit 3 so I can hit home on the fitness. Your popularity grows. You've made your first steps in the world of restaurants. Now you can brag how at least a single person liked your place enough to come back a second time. Well, it's something, isn't it? Popularity level has gone up. The more your popularity will grow, the more customers, especially the rich ones, will visit your place. But be careful, people will expect much more from you and your restaurant. One small step for man. So let's take a look at the menu. And currently we have a couple of things. Our salads are really bad, so maybe we should look at making a custom salad, huh? But I think we're gonna do that in the next video because we're running a little bit out of time on this one here. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate you very much. Leave me those comments and let me know dish ideas. In the next video, we're gonna tackle, I guess, some more. We're gonna tackle a couple of appetizers to cater to a variety of needs. We're gonna hit salads and we're gonna make some really cool soup. I'm gonna really hit home on our custom menu and get that sorted out in the next video. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.